Hello and welcome to the final no load time of 2023. My name is Obed Velez, and with me, is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good? No load time. Obed, the big last episode, 2023. Can
Yep.
you believe it? Another year, another great run. I mean, what an amazing run this
I was,
podcast had for this year.
yeah.
This is our most successful year by far.
Oh, yeah. Not even close, dude.
we
Not
we
even.
broke
I've
records.
been keeping track of those numbers for a while, and not even. Yeah, this year by far, dude. We rocketed, and thank you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're joining the live version now, only on YouTube. And if you are watching through a link somewhere else, or if you're
On
listening through, your podcast platform of choice, whether it be, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, or Google, or Amazon Music, or whatever you choose to listen to podcasts on. But we really, really are truly humbled and thankful for everything that we went through this year. Joel put his body and mind on the line to get us some awesome Comic Con content. Uh, Try to say that fast. And I'm really thankful for everything that we were able to do this year. So I'm looking forward for 2024. That is even
yeah.
more awesome. So
Oh yeah. For many reasons.
Joel, what's up, dude? How you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing great. I don't have too much of a what's up, and one of them I may end up making another video on, but the first one quickly, I've been watching on Disney Plus the Percy Jackson. They just released on their series, the remake essentially. Which I don't know if you ever watched Obed, the original ones, or when I say original, the first films. It's originally a book.
Right.
But with the actor Logan Lerman and it was those are films were entertaining to some extent.
Yep.
But they never like were anything that were super crazy for me. I also never read the books, I must humbly admit, but I was aware that it was a book series and there were supposed to be more stories told.
Right.
And I knew a lot of people have very divisive feelings about it. But Disney coming in and saying we're gonna make an actual series on it is the right way to go, I think. And I'm glad I got to check it out because it's quite charming. I think many
Good.
people watching it are going to think like this is a nice show. Mind you, they only dropped the first two episodes, so we'll wait to see how the rest of it is. And I'm not exactly sure how many episodes it is in entirety.
Okay.
It also felt a little bit like the way it was edited, and this is Andor had this, and Miss Marvel had the same thing, where you could tell that it was edited to be placed on, cable television, the first couple episodes, and
Yeah.
that's what they did with like Andor was played on ABC and Miss Marvel the
It's
same
Marvel too. Yeah.
thing, and so like I think you kind of get a little bit of that with this if you're watching it for the first time, like why does it have these transitions, etc. That's just the production side of me watching it and you're picking up on. But like, I do think that with what they did from the characters that the actors that they chose to portray them, like spot on, the acting for the youth. I mean, these are actual kids playing kids. We joke about this a lot in Hollywood. People watching the
Right.
stuff and they have, 20-year-olds pretending to be 13. And it's like I'm watching, I'm like, this is completely not the case, but whatever. And this one, you actually have literal 12, 13-year-olds playing 12, 13-year-olds like they were on the stories. And so there's a sense of actual like believability behind it. Like as you're in a fantasy world and these crazy demigod storyline going on, and yet you could drink it the Kool-Aid because, they're all playing what they're supposed to be playing. So yeah, I think kudos to Disney on releasing that series. But yeah, I don't know if that's something you'll check out or not, but it's one of those ones that, if anyone out there is looking for something to watch over these holidays, aside from What If coming out tomorrow also on Disney Plus,
Right.
that's another nice little watch there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I may check it out. Not not wholly interested in
Yeah.
it, but I know that the movie. Um, it seemed like they try to sell it as like the next Harry Potter,
Yeah.
and I think the movie just overall fell short.
Yeah.
I don't think it had the wide acceptance as Harry Potter did, but I know that people kind of still talk about it. I've seen things here and there.
Sure.
It has more of a cult following more than anything, but yeah, it's good to see that Disney's going to go ahead and move forward with that. So that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's good to see. I'm curious now how the rest of the season will fall out, but at least for the first two camping pilots was quite nice. Now the main thing, the big thing I did get to actually go out and watch was a little independent film by the name of Wonka, and I got the family together, got to catch that while it was a little stormy outside this weekend here in Central Florida, surprisingly stormy
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time of the year,
right.
but yeah, so it was a nice time to kind of go out and catch a flick. And yeah, Wonka, I gotta tell you, like if you've watched any of the Paddington movies, you know that these people know how to make movies. And it sounds really silly. You're like, wait, is that a movie about a little fluffy bear? Yes. And these people are so good at making these movies. Like they have no business making these movies as good as they are. They should not be as serious and as well done, and yet it is. So yeah, Wonka is in the same vein of that. Like it's instantly going to be one of those seasonal classics, I think, as people watch it. I think it's being a musical sometimes it like takes people out of it a little bit, where like it's funny at first and then it kind of comes too silly and whimsical. And a lot of times musicals are not working at the box office. We've seen a lot of musicals just flop. But yet somehow this one is just fine. I mean, it's under 2 hours.
I just remember
The
Cats.
cat. Oh,
That was
ooh,
last year, right? Like last Christmas.
I thought that was a few years ago.
Oh man, I think Cats was last. I'm gonna look it up.
I thought that was
Here.
like 2019.
Film 2019. Yeah, you're right. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, dude, that was a
Whew.
while ago.
Jeez, man.
It's like 4 years.
Wow. I was thinking that was last year. That goes to show, man. It's like ever since 2019, it's been a blur. Like, oh yeah,
Oh
you're
yeah,
right, because it's like this. It's been 4 years of Rise of Skywalker. We're
and
talking about
Endgame.
yeah, and Endgame, yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
2019 was a very unique year for cinema.
Right, bro. It's like, well, I
Cats
don't think.
Endgame.
Well, yeah, the thing with Cats is like it was such a that movie was such a blur. Like it came out and everyone was like Cats, and then no one talked about it. That I like for me, it
It-
was still like more recent, right? It
oh,
was
for
like
sure.
yeah,
It could have come out yesterday and nobody would have cared.
right. Did you ever get around to watch it? I got creeped
No,
out.
I know people who did. I talked to some people who did, and I think even the people who try to say that it's like it's not that bad, even they know it's not good. Like
Mm,
no one I've ever talked to has been like, this is actually good. I was like, no, it's not good. It's just they have their own reasons of why they're into it, whether it's specific cameos or what have you, which is
yeah,
what I think was what they were
right.
banking on. Like, oh look. We got Jason Derulo. Oh, look, we got Idris Elba. Oh, look, we have,
Taylor
Taylor
Swift.
Swift.
Yeah,
And, Taylor Swift can sell out stadiums. She couldn't get that people to come in and watch movies. Doesn't matter. But that's not a flight on her. Like, I'm not saying there's anything like in that kind of like of slighting her. I'm just saying people think, oh, if you put this in here, automatically it's a home run.
it's not
And it just comes to show like you need to make something actually good for
right.
people to want to go watch it.
But Wonka, sir, is it good? Is it creepy? Like the Johnny Depp
No,
movie?
No, no,
Good.
bro. Like it
Okay,
is, they make it like heartfelt and charming, and like
that's good.
it's yeah. They completely undid anything with that. It's way more connected to the original version, right? Which I was okay. I won't spoil
One
it,
of my
but
favorite movies of all time. Yeah, the Gene
which
Wilder
that one's
movie. Yeah,
also kind of
that was
creepy when
dark.
you think
Yeah,
about
that was
itself.
dark.
Like
Yeah,
kids are, the
getting
naughty
murdered
kid
in
with the egg and all this and
right.
whatever.
That
This
kid got
girl
suctioned up that
inflating
chocolate river.
and
Yeah, man.
yeah, like some
Yeah,
dark stuff
yeah.
going
Where
on
are
in that
they?
movie.
Where you sent her to? The trash. It's like,
Right.
oh man, it's the garbage chute. Oh my god. Yeah, man. It's that movie
Kid
has no chill.
shrinks and puts him in the
The
bag.
the sequence, dude, the tunnel sequence where they actually show like a chicken getting its head cut off. It's like,
Whew,
oh, dude, that movie goes places. It
I
goes
got no
hard.
chill.
Yeah. But nonetheless, that movie is one of
Like
my favorite movies of all time. It's
for
ridiculous, and I
sure,
love it. So
for sure. I think
yeah,
you'll watch this movie with the wife, and you'll be like, okay, this is good. Like this is one of
okay,
those nice like family kind of ones you could watch, and like It's good. It's good.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Good. Joe, before we jump into what we loved and what we hated for this year, we do have a few things that we want to talk about. But before we jump into that, what's going on with the Aquaman review, sir?
Ooh, I'm seeing that on Sunday. I
Mm.
delayed like my viewing of
So we
that
we
film.
won't hear until like second week of next year.
We'll see in 2024.
Wow,
And
it'll be
I'll
completely
put a video.
irrelevant.
I'll put a video.
Oh,
I'll put a
good. Okay,
video.
okay. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be completely irrelevant by then.
It's the end of the Snyderverse. It's
Yeah,
technically,
yeah.
although I don't know what they're doing, but
I don't know
yeah,
what they're doing.
I'm glad that's the end, because if this is having these kind of reviews and not good, like I wish this movie would not even come out in theaters, because it's just sad to see the state of the
It
DCU being what
it
it
looks
is.
bad.
This year was bad, dude. Blue
Yeah,
Beetle, rough. Shazam, rough. This looks rough.
this looks real. It doesn't look good.
No.
Like
Did you
those
see the
TV
last
spots.
trailer? The
It
with the where the brother, like they actually show him, like him and his brother riding on like some kind of
yeah.
creature, and like the CGI of him being super skinny where it looks horrible.
It's not good. The TV spots have been equally horrid, and the YouTube ads, like whenever you get an ad on YouTube for the movie, it just doesn't look good, man. And it's crazy because this movie was delayed like 3-4 years too, right? This was supposed to come
Yeah.
out like in 2020. This is another like Flash scenario, like
Yeah.
almost. Yeah, it got delayed for a very
Oh
long
yeah, the
time.
Flash
So
was this
Flash
year
was this year.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, and they have had doozies.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
I actually think out of all of them, I think the Flash is the best one we had this year, from DC.
yeah, yeah. I mean, not in the, yeah, totally. I mean, Flash at least was, enjoy. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there you can take away from it stuff that's
Yeah.
like, entertaining.
Yep. That's crazy,
Whew.
man. It's been a WWE has been a rough year. Also, like
I
we
mean,
don't.
Marvel's had a rough year, don't get me wrong.
Right, right. Is that we'll go into that later on. But
Yeah.
we didn't put it on the notes. But let's talk about the rumor that WB and Paramount are in
Paramount.
talks of a merger. Paramax is gonna be the new app. Paramax Plus.
It's not a horrible name.
Yeah. What's going on, dude? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, so Zaslav had meetings this last week. He was spotted. It's been confirmed by multiple like legitimate sources that he was out at the Paramount studios. Now, some reporters, I think there's truth in both, but there were some reporters saying he was just there to watch the new Anyone But You film for screening.
Okay.
Which you see CEOs do that, where they'll screen movies for each other, like
Right.
as a shine of good faith for each other. But I think he might have been watching a movie and having that meeting, because it's been apparently talked about for a while. Paramount Plus in general has not been having a good time. It's been struggling a bit. And Warner and with HBO has been struggling, like in their film side as well, just
I mean,
all around.
that's crazy because talk about what an insane ride for WB. Like it's been,
Yeah.
it keeps getting passed around like a rotten potato. It's bad. It's yeah.
It's true. It's true. And I think if Discovery, Warner, Paramount all just come together, you could think, oh my god, that's a monopoly. No, that's actually survival. Like that's them trying to make sure that these brands still live on. I prefer them to be independent. I think it's better creatively
Yeah.
when you don't, because I don't want Paramount content to become HBO content, HBO content become Paramount content. But I understand it. And I can see where it's coming from. I still think that if those rumors were true earlier on that we talked about, of there's people who believe that Universal is going to be buying Warner. Clearly, if those rumors, we talked about this a few weeks ago, like about that. If that's
Yeah.
been that, there's some people on the actual Warner sets who believe that where there's smoke, there's fire. Something's gonna give. Whether that's Paramount, whether that's is Universal, like
Right.
something big is going to happen within the next this is not even we're gonna talk predictions. I'm telling you from now, this is a prediction. Like something is going to happen where Warner is not going to be the same company, whether that's a merger or they're going to be absolved by someone else between now and 2024.
Right. But it's, man, when you think about it, like it's because it's like Paramount is not only Paramount when you think about it, right? That's CBS, that's
Yeah.
Viacom, so that'll be like what Nickelodeon, right? Nickelodeon and the MTV or whatever's left of MTV, the skeleton that once was MTV, I
Totally.
guess, yeah. and I mean, they do have some other properties out there, but it's a big deal, man. That's another big deal. That's, to me, that's definitely bigger than the Discovery thing, because the Discovery thing is
Yeah.
more of a trying to keep TV alive kind of thing, but
Yeah.
this is more of the studio, and I think WB, you know, as a whole, I don't think they had an awful year, because the Flash did okay, Barbie did really well, so they had a couple of of decent movies. I think that a lot of the stuff that they're putting out on Max is good. Um, it's I don't know, man. It seems like back in right now, I don't want to go back to it, but it seems like when Disney, the Fox acquisition, triggered something on everyone else. Like we're falling
Mm-hmm.
behind, and they're
Yep.
trying to follow suit. Um, I mean, the one that's been real quiet over here making all the money is Comcast. Like they've been, you know, quietly building like a competitive, you know, front, IP wise and TV wise, and movies, theme parks, like you name it, right? They are, in my opinion, right now the top dog when it
Mm.
comes to dominating the studios, right? Um, Disney, if Disney gets their ducks in a row, like there's no stopping it, right? If they get Star Wars good with movies again, if Marvel is due for a renaissance at this point, right? And we can talk about it
Yeah.
later. But if Disney gets its ducks in a row, it can once again be the juggernaut. Uh,
I'm counting
and
on it.
and
I'm
yeah,
counting on
totally.
it. I would not be counting against it.
Yeah, because everyone keeps laughing, and talking about it. It's like, don't count them out, man. They can come out
It's not
swinging,
over.
and no, it's not. Hey, not
Far,
not
far
not
from
not
it.
by a mile. Yeah, yeah. So, um, but I think that there's survival. I think is the right word that you use, and you used it, and I think that's accurate. Like they're afraid that something may or may not happen, and they go under. But Paramount had a good year too, because
I know.
wasn't Top Gun this year, right? The early this
No, no,
year
that was
that
last
was
year.
last year.
I don't know where you are, Open. He's in 2021,
Bro,
2022.
it's been like you, sir. I've had a week,
No, no, I hear you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. No, no, I hear. But
but
this year you had Mission Impossible, right? I thought
Mission
that was pretty
Impossible.
good.
That's
I
what
was surprised that it underperformed as much as it did.
right, right,
That
right,
movie should have made way more. Like I can't wait for you to see it. You're gonna really like this new
right.
Mission Impossible. 3 hours
That
long, incredibly
Transformers
long
that was
movie.
this year,
Pretty
right?
good. Transformers was this
Okay.
year. Yep. I thought Transformers was fun. You also have Sonic. I think Sonic, like that wasn't this year, that was
That was
last year,
last
but
year,
still, my point is like they have franchises
right? Because
that
then,
like that they're
right,
doing okay with. I
right,
don't
because
want like that to get under the HBO Warner
oh, no,
umbrella.
no, 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 no,
I want like Paramount to keep doing what they're doing with
right,
those.
because I think like Sonic is gonna be, they're gonna have another one next year. Um, it looks like Transformers is having a
Yes.
resurgence, like what Marvel should do, right? You gotta start soft rebooting, like
Hmm.
whether you
Yeah.
like it or not, whether people like it or not, you gotta start,
Hmm.
and it is what it is, right? There's those rumors that were rolling around up, about the X-Men, and I don't want to get into it, but I don't think that's true.
I agree. I
I
don't
don't
think so
think that's
either.
true. I think
Yeah.
that's more of a I think that's more of a clickbait approach to an article more than anything. Because even I think that even the classic X, we're okay to call them classics. They've been out for over 20 years. Like the
Literally.
classic X-Men movies, where they were very progressive for the time. Like they
Hmm.
gave equal time to Jean and Storm that they did to Wolverine and Cyclops, right? They were,
Yep.
they were very progressive at that point, but I don't. Man, it's incredible that to me, Joel, that we're in we are in 2023, right?
Almost 2024.
We're almost in 2024, and people still believe everything they see on the internet. It's incredible to me. It's like why? It's like, haven't you guys learned your lesson? It's like, come on. So
Touch grass.
right, honestly, man, and yeah, I mean Paramount's doing okay. I don't think Paramount needs this thing. I don't.
That they're the one I'm more concerned about than
Well,
Warner.
yeah,
Like
because
it's
they don't
Paramount
need the
getting
baggage.
corrupted.
They don't need the
Right.
baggage. It's like at the time Disney did not need the Fox baggage. You know, now they're having to deal with it. And, hopefully that they'll get it sorted out soon. But that's something that I don't want on Paramount because it seems like whatever's going on at WB is toxic, and it's like it's spreading.
It's in everything. Like
It's a
even
virus,
games,
dude.
like their games are flopped. Like
Oh my
everything's
gosh,
flopping.
dude. Yeah. Their games. And then, like the Suicide Squad game, it's been
Yep.
delayed for like 2 years.
Yeah, dude.
And
Gotham Knights and thing was terrible.
Mortal Kombat, you $15 to unlock the Thanksgiving fatality. Or whatever, right? What the heck? Like that I don't know, man. Like even PlayStation took a step back, right? And kind of said it's like, yeah, let's not go too crazy on this thing.
Yeah.
So even them were like, nah, let's not go in. But you know, yeah, it's an interesting time, and it seems like a lot of these companies like WB, you can tell that it was very reactionary to what Disney was doing, um,
Totally.
and it seems like that continues to be the case because these guys are reacting. Meanwhile, Comcast over here, like wiping their tears with $100 bills and and banking on Mario, building parks and building a decent platform that a hybrid platform because you can watch Peacock for free, some shows on it at least, but now they have this whole other thing that you can add on to it, and they're doing well in the movie theaters. Fast and Furious, they're not good movies anymore. I mean, were they ever? But they still do very well.
Uh,
Mario did very
they're
good.
in the news today for not the reasons.
Oh yeah, I don't want to get into that. Yeah,
Oh, I know.
I don't want to get into that. Well, we already have one on the docket, so I don't want to
Right.
get too crazy. But we'll wait and see. I guess we
Yeah.
can add it for the predictions at the end of the show.
Sure. Sure.
So, Joe, let's go ahead and talk about I guess the big news this week, and it is that Jonathan Majors had his trial, and he was found guilty um, of what we're not gonna go into it. Whatever the charges were, right? And minutes later, like this was prepped like a couple weeks ago. He was snapped out of existence from the MCU. And yeah, like I said, it was like it was the verdict was in. News were public, and Marvel came out and said that he is no longer involved with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is very interesting because now they Marvel are not referring to what was it Kang
Kang
Dynasty
Dynasty
as Kang Dynasty. They're referring it as Avengers 5.
5. Yep.
So whatever Plan B they had, it looks like they're enacting it. Joel, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean this was a huge ringing in the news, and I'm gonna start off first just giving kudos to Marvel and Disney on this because let's just be clear, this is not their fault what happened with Jonathan Majors. This is him himself, his personal life, and we don't need to get into all of that. But regardless, like this is a personal issue that this actor had. However, it did have implications upon obviously Marvel and Disney, which is why we're talking about it today. And instead of the headlines being and tried to be at first, Marvel actor found guilty of, they instantly made sure we're gonna, hey, this guy's no longer a part of us. So now it could be ex Marvel star or former. So people make it clear he has nothing to do with us
Right.
going forward. That is such a smart PR move.
Yeah.
Kudos to Marvel, kudos to
And
Disney
what's
on doing that right away.
yeah, and I think I applaud them for being neutral until the end, because
Right,
it
they
was like,
let
we're gonna wait, gonna let it run out and see what let's see what happens, right? Because you never know.
Because
So
he was only found guilty on two things. He had about 4 or 5 charges, to my understanding, but it still was bad enough. I'm not going to get into it,
right,
but look, they tried very hard, his camp, to make sure that those videos, that those text messages, that those things never came out. And when the judge said no, that's when automatically the jury, apparently over those 4 days, just came back and said,
right.
it has to be this. So it's unfortunate because obviously the talent was there, but it sounds like he might have been a little bit like King in real life too. So some of the great man comments sounded very much like King when I was reading it. But look, with Disney doing this and saying now allegedly on the inside, they're just referred to as Avengers 5. You remember a few weeks ago, we talked also about how the writer got replaced for a King Dynasty, and now is instead the same writer from Loki season 2,
Right.
And season 1. Same. This guy is I'd have to look up his name to fact check it, but a younger guy and is quickly rising in the ranks at Marvel. It seems like he has a lot of he's highly favored by the execs at Marvel, and they really trust him significantly. So the fact that they brought him into the project before and said, hey, you're doing the King Dynasty stuff, and he already wrote stuff for King in Loki season 2 and 1. He's very familiar, obviously, with the character. So even if they are going to pivot, I can't imagine that King is not still somehow a part of it, whether that's a quick offing of him or whether that's a reference to what they what happened.
Yeah, we talked
I don't
about
think
it.
you
Yeah,
just walk away.
right. And we talked about the ending. I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's contained, he's fine,
Right.
live and be, and that's probably gonna be it. Like it was like it was it's unceremonious for sure, right? But a very smart way to do it. So
What do you rename it?
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
It's gonna be some Comic-Con, bro.
Yeah. It's gonna be some revelations there.
I'm gonna pack my bag, sleep overnight for Hall H, and we will find out.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's on top of like the growing rumors that that Maguire's gonna be back, and like this, they keep adding stuff, and yeah, I think that the next 5 years are gonna be very interesting for Marvel. Like, it's we're getting to the point where it's like I look at it, I talk about the next 5 years, and I I'm close to Social Security.
Oh my gosh, stop it.
I'm an old man Obed over here
Obed's gonna retire.
having a fit. It's
Full-time
like,
military.
back in 2023. No, it wasn't. It was back in 2019. I was like having a little like senile,
Didn't Cats come out last week?
all the senile moments that I'm having today. Get sleep, boys. That's my pro tip to you guys. Get enough sleep. No, you don't have to be like me over here, senile old man.
Oh
Talking
my
about
gosh.
it's like, remember last year when Iron Man 3 came out? Iron Man
That was
3.
2013, Grandpa
Right.
Obed. 10 years
I
ago.
remember where the Avengers were good. All right, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
Right?
So we'll
Oh my
we'll
gosh.
totally see what happens with Comic Con. Yeah, Comic Con's gonna be big, dude. You're gonna have a great time, sir.
Everyone keeps saying like this is the year that like hey, we're gonna finally have like how E3 would always be like a really good matchup between Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Like that was always like they'd have a good show out. It's gonna be like one of those kind of years because Marvel's at the lowest they've been since their launch of the new MCU,
DC's
right?
been.
DC is at the lowest it's been, and they're already making clear we're starting something new.
Right.
Um, this is gonna be like they're both need to come out with fireworks to get the fans excited again, because the fans are not excited about anything, and this is the one to do it. Like they
Yeah.
have to bring
They gotta.
everything to this. There's no like let's play it lightly. And I'm, oh boy, man, I'm gonna be just get as much content as I can for us, man.
Yeah, I know you will, sir. I know you will. But you know, it's they. I know that they had a plan B, and they probably had a plan B for a while now. And we talked about it, right? Like there was a plan B with Doom.
There was a retreat.
and
Remember
there's
they had that retreat, the retreat that Feige and all them went
right.
on.
Yeah, and you know, and we talked about the you know the rumors for Doom and you know and Paulo Pascal, Pedro Pascal, and Paulo Pascal. Oh my God, Pedro, not Paulo. I'm thinking about Pablo Hidalgo, which I don't,
Oh,
which one,
sure,
which one I
sure.
don't want close to Star Wars. I
Sure,
already said that.
Paulo. Sure. I'm sorry, I heard it.
Pedro Pascal, um, as Mr. Fantastic. So, um, man, I need to get some rest.
Time to go to bed, Grandpa.
Yeah, yeah. You take your meds. Make sure to take your meds.
Drink your milk. Keep your bones strong. I'm sorry. Eat your
Oh
broccoli.
man, I'm telling you, dude. I'm out all next week from work.
You're gonna
It's
sleep
gonna be
very well.
glorious because I'm gonna just stay here and I'm. It's like my wife wants to go out. It's like I just want to stay here all day, dude. I don't want to do anything.
That's the introverted side, right? Where
Right,
it's like
right,
it's okay. The
Yeah,
house is nice.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I had a conversation with my daughter. It's like, oh, you know, I just ready to take home. Why? Because everything is here. It's like, okay,
Right.
makes sense, man.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I'm like that. It's like you know, I like to go out. I like to see you. I
you
like to
do.
see you
You do.
people every once in a while.
You touch grass.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like I don't like to mow it though. Like it's summertime. Like I'm glad that I don't have to mow the
Who
lawn
does?
now.
Who
So
does?
yeah, no, yeah, totally, yeah. That's like the one of the worst parts of being a homeowner. And it's like if you can afford a landscaper, yeah, go ahead, man. More power to you.
Absolutely.
But we'll see. Like you know, we've seen the rumors and there's stuff out there. We'll probably get to see more at Comic Con, like you
Any
said. So
any predictions you want to make?
um, they're gonna have to put Doom somewhere in there.
Like you're Kevin Feige right now. You got to call the shots. You're in Disney HQ, and okay, throw out right now. You're in the meeting.
All right.
Go.
So
What
right
you're
now,
saying? How you feel in your heart?
there's gonna be a universe soft reset with Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
And things are gonna get soft reset. Not everything. Like I would keep Spidey. Like I would try to keep Tom Holland around. I would try to keep of course Deadpool for at least one more round and Wolverine for at least one more round. Um, I would reboot Cap and reboot Black Panther ASAP. Both on
Oh yeah.
both, right?
Yeah.
Um, and and then go with the ones that have not been done. We do X-Men, do Fantastic Four, um, and keep moving from there. I would stay away from D tier Disney Plus shows, like D tier characters. I mean, like right, because we both I think agree that Moon Knight is really it's good. The problem is that he's just such a low tier character
Nobody
that
cares.
nobody cares. And so I would stay away from that. I would try to bring back, like with Echo, I would keep Echo and I would build into the new Daredevil stuff. And I would keep that as like the Disney Plus thing while we do the more grander, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Galactus event,
Yep.
in the
Yep.
movies. So I would stay away. I would stay away from having fans to watch not only 20, 30 movies, but also hundreds of hours of content on Disney Plus to be able to watch the next movie. Like, I will move away from that, and I would keep the Disney Plus content. um I, I would keep it separate, not connected to the grander story, but more contained. Like, again, like the Daredevil, like the smaller stuff, like, you know, and yeah, it's connected somehow to the big picture, but you don't have to watch that to enjoy the next movie.
Not at all.
Yeah, and that's what I would do, and then I would build up to Doom and Galactus, like, and with in and then I would and then Secret Wars, and I would build to that. So that would be the next the next big thing, if you ask me. I would
Yeah.
stay away from doing Ghost Riders. I would stay away from doing Moon Dragons and all this other, like, no one cares about this character thing. It's like, no, we don't need every single character to have their movie or show, because most of these characters are not relevant.
There's also characters that they already have that are relevant characters that just need rebooting for the sake of we need to take them serious again. Two characters that come to mind right away is Thor and Hulk. Like, I
Right.
would be 100% fine if, okay, they're going cosmic and they have Fantastic Four, and then in comes in a new Thor, and this one we're like, okay, this guy is super hardcore and for real, and
Well,
an amazing Superman type reboot character that you
right.
do, right?
There was
Same thing with Hulk.
yeah, totally. There was a rumor, I don't know if you saw it, that allegedly, like, it's public that Chris Hemsworth was not happy with the direction
Yeah.
for that Taika Waititi took the movies in. But there was a rumor that they're gonna, like, soft reboot Thor with Hemsworth, but it was gonna be more of a God of War type of thing, like
I really like Hemsworth.
like
He
angry
was,
and edgy, and yeah.
I really like him, but I think they need to get somebody else if they're gonna do a reboot.
Okay,
I think it's like as much as I love
that's fair.
Henry
Yeah, that's
Cavill,
fair.
as much as I love Henry Cavill, I see the vision, I think, a little bit right now. How James is like, let's just go completely new. Like, if we're gonna do it, let's just go completely new. And obviously your John Cena is coming back and stuff like that. Like, that's because that's the stuff he made already, so I get it.
Right.
But like, I feel like with Marvel, it's kind of the same. Like Hulk, same thing. There's so much between She-Hulk and some of the other stuff that they've done that just, Hulk was like weak sauce in Endgame and Infinity War, and he wouldn't come out and whatever.
It was really
But
good.
like, I reboot it, do Planet Hulk, like get World War Hulk, like go down these things and make it legit. I want to see them kind of take some of the characters that we've even already seen and make and reimagine them. Like, I see what James is doing in DC, and I kind of feel the same thing with Marvel right now. Like, I'm ready for it. I don't want them to go back to the old character. I just want it to be like,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? You had your Batfleck, and then now you have your Matt Reeves Batman. Yeah, it's close, but it's okay because if it's good, people will be okay
Right.
with it.
Right. I don't think Marvel has that luxury of just splitting the universe like that, but yeah,
Yeah.
if I would be in charge, I would try and do that. I would keep the Disney Plus content contained, and then do the grand stuff in the movies, and rebuild. And again, not more than 2 movies a year. You do a summer and a fall movie. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Don't go too crazy, and double down on the popular characters. Like, double down on Spidey, double down on, now the X-Men coming in, right? So you gotta double down on those guys, and again, reboot Cap, because you gotta reboot Cap. Cap was popular,
Agreed.
and I appreciate the I guess the shift, and they're being accurate to the comics, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, it's like it's a founding pillar of what the MCU was, and you gotta bring it back. And dude, the Black Panther stuff, you gotta do that like as
I
soon as
know. I
possible
would
too.
love to see a new Black
Like-
Panther just show up again.
Right.
Like, oh, this is a new guy playing.
Right.
Like, this is cool.
Right. Again, going back to what I told you that other day is like, why didn't they do it? I just don't. It was yeah. I know, and you know, I respect their choice, right?
They did it
But
tastefully, but I
yeah,
get it.
right. But at the same time, it's like, you know, it's you could have recast, you know, you could have done recast and then dedicate it to the memory,
Totally.
and
Oh,
and
totally. And
you could
still
have
done your name more and still did all those cool
right
things.
exactly, yeah. You could have done everything. So yeah, man. Uh, it's gonna be weird, but they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. I know that they probably had this plan B brewing for a while, and I know that they already have a clear path, and hopefully, you know, they can follow it, nail it, you know, stick the landing. So that's I guess the more important part. So yeah.
Yeah.
Joel's talking about. All right. Well, I mean, I guess it's like related, right? Because we're talking Spidey, but Insomnia Games were the victims of ransomware. That's why you don't open weird emails, kids. So they had a lot of
What's an
information.
email, Grandpa?
No,
I'm
it's
sorry.
an electronic correspondence.
I'm just being silly.
So um, they were the victims of ransomware, and they hackers got a ton of stuff out of their I guess email and communications and servers because there's allegedly I, I cannot either confirm nor deny that I've seen it. There's alleged Wolverine gameplay out there, so um,
Yeah.
it's bad. It's real bad. But you know what? What's not bad? Uh, that they've basically have an X Men license until like 2035 or something. So I guess that's good news, right?
Whoa.
Um, good news is that they have the one of my predictions actually came true. In those leaked documents, they're alleging that there's a Miles Morales type of Venom game coming out in 2025,
Hmm.
which more than
No,
likely
2024 I saw.
2024. You saw? Okay,
That's what
so
I
I saw
saw.
one that said 2025. So
I'll check it, but I'm pretty
okay,
sure.
okay. Um, because if it's 20, so because I was gonna say if it's 2025, if it's 2024, dude, that could be that could probably mean, you know, what came out when Miles came out.
Right.
Yeah, so it could be a refresh. It could be a pro. So you
No,
know,
you're right. Q2 2025.
okay, yeah. I mean, still like Q2 2025, it could be a
Yeah.
pro. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
So
right. Yep.
it could be a PS5 Pro, which there were some specs out there, and you know, based on the specs, it's really impressive. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah, cool. Okay, great. So that's great. Um, but yeah, man. And then there's a bunch of I guess Spider-Man DLC that got leaked out. Some of it is spoilerific, Joel. So I don't know if you saw any of that, but finish the freaking
I
game.
did.
Finish the freaking game. and and one of the negatives I think is that they're planning, I guess, for Spider-Man 3. This is again rumors, speculation. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm just I'm just relaying information that's out there on, you know, Polygon and Reddit and IGN and whatnot. So um that Spider-Man 3 is gonna be kind of like the Final Fantasy 7 remake, where it's going to be divided into three separate games, and you're gonna have to buy each game for $50 allegedly, right? Um, that it's concerning, right? But when you think about it concerns me when you think about the length of Spider-Man 2, because Spider-Man
Mhm.
2 is really not a long game.
No.
Um, so that is a bit concerning, and when you try to split this into three, you better be giving me three, like not only New York, you better be giving me L.A. and Chicago with this. Like, yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I mean, right? It's like
expand it.
I'm expecting a grand adventure
Yeah.
with not only the one city. So, what do you think? What do you think of that model?
Like it's like at first I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. They're gonna have three of them, like more content, more gameplay, more fun. Like if you love what you got with one and two and the Miles game, then you're thinking, Craig, three more like stories being told, we get a lot more. I don't think that that's a good idea personally from a story standpoint to split it in three. I would rather them just release three separate standalone games and make them complete, not like the final split. Like I don't, it just feels a little like how Infinity War was supposed to be part one, part two, and they end up splitting out to Infinity War Endgame. Like it kind of feels like that should be more of a thing. Like make them be conclusive stories and don't make it that it's the same story running between three games. But it also is a great sales model. Like you're gonna make money from it, so I can't like make fun of them for it. I think it's smart from a business. It's just as a consumer and as a fan, I don't love it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like, um, so Final Fantasy VII remake. I mean, going back to that, right? That game was $60 when it came out. The
Yeah.
new one's gonna be 70, like the one
Mm,
that's coming out in a couple of months. And the third one is probably gonna be 70 again.
hmm
So that was split in three parts. I I really love that first one, right? I have no problems paying for the part two and the part three. Um, but that's what I mean, right? It's the content has to be there,
hmm
and remake what it wasn't that long, considering it was a Final Fantasy game. It's around 35 40 hours. Even if you do the side stuff, and so it's not really that long. It does have some replay value because it has trophies that require a couple different playthroughs. Has hard mode, so it does give you some value there, and the game is great. Like the game plays fantastic, and the story is great. So and it looks incredible. So to me, it's worth it, right? If you're a fan, it's probably worth it. Problem is that when you and we know and we know the story of Final Fantasy VII. Although again, this remake's not really a remake;
Yeah.
it's a sequel. Um, when it comes to Spider-Man and having to split the story into three different parts, the content is my concern. Like, what are you? I mean, unless this story is like insane, dude. I mean, there's a setup for a big deal
Absolutely.
thing, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Mm.
but at the same time, it's like, I mean, how big can you go? It's like, I mean, there's not only one setup; there are several setups in there.
Mm.
But again, how big can you go? And that's my question, right? It's like, how can you expand the map in a meaningful way without having to pat it down with like catch the pigeons and all that? Like, which I'm thankful that Spider-Man 2 was very straightforward. It didn't feel padded. It was I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it probably more than the first one because it just didn't feel padded. It's like,
hmm
oh, you go do the mission to save they do to the ambulance, and that's it. I think that was the worst part of the game. It was like having to take people to the ambulance when
Yeah. Yeah.
after one of those like
Yeah.
crime missions. That was probably the worst part. But it just other than that, it was great. I enjoyed it because it felt good, and it didn't feel like overly, like it didn't overstay its welcome. Right? It was still long. Like I still spent 35 almost 40 hours on it trying to do everything for the platinum, but it felt great. But how big can you go, man? That's the question.
Yeah, that's a good point. How big can they go? And I think that like if they can somehow pull it off, then and in a way that it makes sense, then I think you and I would probably put our positions in like we're pro. But right now it's like doesn't
Right.
sound like this is the right way, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I cannot either confirm nor deny. Uh, but if, and that's a big if, I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not. But if that Wolverine footage is real, that's a day one buy for me.
Oh my gosh, bro. They what
I
I saw and today I saw even more. I was like,
don't
no,
know if
no,
it's real, but it looks sick.
this is yeah, this is the one. And there's
Yeah.
no way that thing's being rated teen.
Oh no.
There ain't no
They're
way.
they're going for it. They're
Yeah.
going for it. It was like that Wolverine game for PS3. Remember the one Origins?
Oh, or the movie was crazy,
The,
but the game was great.
the game was great. Yeah, yeah, man. You had all
Video
that
games are
battle
great.
damage tech that they had. It was like the first game that you ever played with like real time like battle damage
Hmm.
and the
Yep.
healing and all. It was it was nuts, and
Yeah.
it was brutal too. It was gory. It was man. Talk about talk about it as like exceeding expectations. It's like whatever studio made that game. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna look up who made that game. Hold on.
Like we're actually gonna make a good game. Forget the movie stuff. But that's such a different time. Like I talked to different people about this. Like remember the days growing up where you would have games based off of movies. Like if there was going to be a new Spider-Man movie, there was a new Spider-Man game that was attached to it, or a Lord of the Rings movie, there's Lord of the Rings game. It's just
Right.
not like nowadays that's not the thing at all.
Raven Software made this, so
Interesting. Wow.
they're Microsoft now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're part of Activision. Yep. So
Wow.
yeah, look at those guys.
Good for
That's
them.
another studio, man. Raven was like a really good studio that got relegated into making like Call of Duty DLC. Man, talk about
Never give them a chance.
no, man. And that game was awesome. So yeah, hopefully it'll be something close to that. But yeah, man. I mean, predictions for next year. Honestly, I mean, the big one's is Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Not, like there's something's gonna happen with Nintendo. They're gonna come down and put their foot down and say, "Yo, we're here, and we're here and we 4K." That's gonna be their thing. So again, I'm predicting that this is gonna be a hybrid. This is no shrimp attached predictions here. Again, it's gonna be a hybrid. It's gonna have a backwards compatible version. It's gonna have an all digital version. There may be a box only version that you just plug into your TV and you play like a regular console. And they're gonna have the hybrid version of it. So um, maybe they'll do like the hybrid will be the backwards compatible, and just the box would be like their old digital. There's a rumor that they're gonna release an old digital one that is not backwards compatible with the Switch, and it's gonna be just new stuff. But again, like it's one of it's like I said, like we think about this console as being a Switch Pro, but this could be a whole new platform, and we can get like brand new games attached to it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, not only remasters, right? But we may see like real use. Like we haven't seen a 3D Mario in a while. We're probably gonna see something crazy. I don't the rumor out there that they're working on a souped up Breath of the Wild, which again
Oh.
probably not. Considering that I put so much time in that game, I don't want to go through it again. But you know, you never know. Either way, and I said it before, I'm already saving up money for this thing because um, this is gonna be a day one for me. I haven't been this excited about Nintendo since the Super Nintendo, so I am very much excited about this. So um, yeah, that's my first prediction. I guess it's not really it's a prediction of a prediction, but I don't really want to add anything else to that.
Mm. Yeah, I do think from I do think from a gaming side, like you nailed all that on. Like Switch is going to be the big headline. The new Switch, obviously, because there's not too much. It seems like that we can just unless somebody has on their bingo card something that we just don't have any insight on. And that's the thing about us. Like anyone who watches No Load Time knows we have a really good track record when it comes to predicting stuff. We're not 100%, we're not batting at 100, right? But like we still have such a good percentage that it's enough that people could realize we kind of know what we're talking about. And so like when it comes to just from a gaming standpoint, like I don't want to say anything too radical. I think I would probably say that um there's going to be clearly some larger acquisitions, but I actually think Sony's going to be the one making them because I don't think they have to make it, but I
Right.
think that they will do it just because they can and as they prep for next gen stuff too. I think it's going to be a part of their whole like procedure. They've clearly have buku money. There's a lot of success coming in to the gaming division. I think they're going to get a lot of clearance going into 2024 from the Sony top saying, keep that ship rolling, keep that thing moving. And it's not going to be just having the PlayStation 5 Pro. Like it's not going to be anything like it's going to be more so let's also give you some big games if we can and do
Yeah.
that by not just making new stuff but absorbing stuff too.
Yeah, they gotta invest. They gotta start
Yeah.
investing.
Yeah.
Um, they're playing the Comcast role in here.
Yeah.
Like, whereas WB has been the Microsoft just buying everything and not really producing anything meaningful.
Sheesh.
But they've been over here doing their thing, doing strategic acquisitions, like smaller stuff, right? Um, for the time being. But I think yeah, like I stand by the prediction that I had when Jim Ryan was retired that they within the next 6 months we'll probably see them invest uh, in some high visibility content. It's like whether it be Square Enix, whether it be Capcom. I don't think Sega. They keep saying that they're not for sale, but I don't know, man. That trailer got a bunch of people really excited. I mean, Sega's got money, but it's it's gonna be interesting. Like if they actually manage to snatch one of the big Japanese companies. So
Yeah.
there's been a rumor for a long time about WB shedding games out, and Sony acquiring WB games. Um, I don't know what's going on with whatever was IDOS and all those guys. They're it seems like they're doing their own thing, so that's fine. But yeah, yeah, within the next I guess 5 months now, 5 or 4.5 months, we'll probably see some movement. I'm still stand by that. So probably like March, maybe a good month for them to start making changes. So
Yeah, early on. I don't think it's gonna be that too late to wait.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean if they do, it will come across as reactionary to what Nintendo's gonna be
totally
doing.
right. Yeah, so they have to plan it out
Mhm.
properly. So
Yeah.
because the Microsoft stuff was clearly reactionary. That you go
Oh,
into
for sure.
E3 and you announce all this stuff, right? You're reacting to your competitor's
Correct.
conference, right?
Absolutely.
So and that's why like perception, like that perception of weakness that you know still lingering. I don't know. Again, there were some estimated sales figures out there this week saying
Mm.
that the PS5 has outsold the both Series S and S 3-1. Um, and again, this is what happens when your console becomes a Fire Stick and you're just selling your subscription. So
I mean the Series X, bro, like it's right now 350 still.
I
That
saw
should
it three
be
ninety nine today. I don't know. It's been going up
I
and
saw on
down. Yeah,
Amazon through yeah, and I'm like, dude, how is that? I mean that's still a juggernaut of a piece of hardware. There's no excitement.
Yeah, yeah. People are like everyone keeps saying it's great, yeah, because of Game Pass, right? And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt
Yeah.
it. You know, I used to have Game Pass on PC, and I think it was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you did.
and you know, if you can have a Netflix of video games almost, right,
I know. It
and
sounds
play stuff
great.
on TV. So yeah, so I don't know. I they're having a really hard time to resonating with I guess average consumers
Yeah.
and all that. Like you talk to someone and it's like, oh yeah, PS5 is a PS5. Like the PS5 is still like a hot product.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are still buying it, and you go to Target and there's none, but there's like 10 Xboxes, and yeah, it's very strange. Like I don't know. I mean, we all know what the end game is, right? The end game
Totally.
is they becomes the Xbox becomes a service brand, and they provide a
Which is how
service.
Microsoft is with their other softwares.
Right, exactly. So no, you can't buy anything anymore. Like
Yeah.
you can't really buy anything
Subscription.
Microsoft anymore. It's all subscription, and that's what they want. They
Yeah.
want you to keep paying monthly. They don't want you to buy Starfield for $70. They want you to pay Game Pass for $9, 10, 15, 16, 17 months, bucks a month.
It's guaranteed money.
Yeah, exactly. So, they're gonna keep investing on some games to appear on the platform, as everyone would do. Like Sony does that too on for PS Plus Extra and Premium, but I really don't know what their end game is. It's very strange.
Yeah.
You know it's just that they it's clear that they have a direction, but how are they going to achieve that direction eventually? That's a big question. Um, I guess not really a rumor because it was already leaked that that revised Series X all digital is going out next year. The one that looks like a cylinder, kind of like the Mac Pro cylinder one looking one. So that's coming out next year. I mean, I don't. It's probably gonna be $399 because it's gonna be really hard for them to put that price up to $499 after having it for $399 for 2 months and still have like a ton of stock. It's gonna be that price is gonna stay there. The price is not gonna go up. And the Series S, yes, the Series S, that will stay at 250.
That's gonna be the same price as a PS Portal, dude, soon.
Yeah, 189. Yeah,
Which, the more I think about it, I
it's not bad.
kind of on it.
It's not a bad deal, dude.
Like the more I think about it, I'm like, makes a man think.
Like honestly speaking, dude, if you can afford the the extra 5 15 bucks or 10 15 bucks for Game Pass and buy a Series S for $200, it's not a bad deal, dude.
Not a bad deal.
So I think that's what their future is. It's gonna be a cheap console that you can just get your games
Yeah.
online, and they're not gonna it's clear that the Series X is the last Xbox console with a disk drive.
Wow.
Like it's clear. Like they're not
Mhm.
gonna make another one. PlayStation, the next one is gonna be all digital with the option of adding on the drive, like the
Oh
new
yeah.
one,
Totally.
like the Slim. So, but Xbox, they're getting rid of it. They're gonna get rid of that, and RIP GameStop. Well, they can probably see, and that's the thing. Like GameStop will probably sell you the an empty box with a code. So you can have a collectible or whatever. So that could be their thing. But yeah, it's there's definitely some big changes. But
For
yeah,
sure.
when it comes to gaming. But yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see what's in store for next year. But Joe, going back to like Marvel DC, do you expect to see any DC footage for the new Superman at Comic Con?
Yes, I don't think we're gonna see that much. I personally think that we'll get our first look at, you know, at Superman in the suit. Like, well, we gotta see that, right? And
Right.
people need to be able to just see that alone, and to give people a sense of the tone of the film too. I think that's going to be the kind of thing that they purposely showcase. That could be, no more than, just a very brief look at, him flying or an opening sequence. It's very James Gunn to do something like that. I mean, he did the same thing with Guardians, right? Where like, and I cannot confirm or deny back in 2011, 12 that I saw footage from Comic Con that leaked online. But it's just the whole prison lineup, right? Sequence and all of them showing, hey, this is Groot and this is Star Lord. We got this guy from whatever, and he's Drax and Gamora, the deadliest woman alive, and all this whatever. And like to get people sense that this is the lineup, this is the team. I think you'll get something like that too. But I think in general, I think you're gonna get a lot from DC, like not just a little bit. I think you're gonna get a lot from DC, probably more from them than even Marvel. I think Marvel slows their roll and DC just hits the acceleration, and that's probably for the better.
Right.
Like I think their strategies need to be opposite in that sense. I think both of them need to do the reboot thing. One clearly already is, and the other one we'll see. I don't think that Marvel will easily reboot things. I think they'll handle it a little bit more gently and understandably so. But like you look at the stuff with Superman being the first really entrance to chapter one, Gods and Monsters, as James is referring to it as. I think we're gonna learn more about some of the gods and monsters that are coming further along at Comic Con. I think that's gonna be the real theme. Is like this is the tone, this is the people, and these are the characters to look forward to. So when people do watch, Superman Legacy, they're like, "Oh no, we know it's not just because in the movie there's a bunch of cameos and Hawk Girls in Superman Legacy, and now Supergirl apparently is going to be in it, and all these characters showing up. It's also like it's intentional. It's all intentional."
Right. Right. Yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see DC, Marvel taking a step back, you know, get everything straightened out, for the next 5-10 years, and then we'll see DC really pushing it this coming year. What about Star Wars? We're not gonna get a movie, but are we expecting some sort of big announcement from them?
No.
No.
The biggest thing that would come out is Kathleen Kennedy no longer being, the president.
In August.
And I'm not even confident of that.
October. No, hey.
I am not confident of it.
I'm not betting. I'm not betting. No, I'm not a betting man, but I wouldn't bet on that.
I wouldn't bet on it. And there's so many people out there, they will look at you dead in the eye that they believe this is the people we're talking about. They'll read things on the internet and take it as truth. Like
Right.
touch grass, people. This is a theme today, if you've noticed. Like in reality, it's not. She could be let go. It's
Right.
not impossible. But I would not bet on it. But I think that would be the biggest thing that happens from Star Wars. Nothing else from a film, show-wise announcements. You'll get things there's always gonna be news around Star Wars. It's not gonna be a quiet year, but I don't think anything jaw-dropping. Why? The next celebration is not till 2025 in Japan. And should you get a new president of Lucasfilm, then 2025 would be the year where it's like, and by the way, like a James Gunn type thing we're talking about with Comic-Con, like this is kind of the new plan, the new slate, whatever. I don't think that they're going to do anything big like that now. You'll have rumors, you'll have a couple things, a lot of things delayed. Andor's not coming out till 2025, right? Season 2, right? Like
rumors that it got delayed.
What they're
Yeah.
saying. Ahsoka's not going to be out till 2025 at the earliest. The next season. It's going to be a very quiet year for Star Wars.
Yeah. I guess the other than maybe Bad Batch, if that.
Maybe Tales of the Jedi too. I could see that.
Yeah.
Seriously, like that could be the big thing.
Yeah. You're right. Man. I really hope that they figure
Battlefront 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man. Day one.
Surprise.
Man. They gotta, dude. It's been a long time.
I want it.
I want it. Yeah.
Give me Battlefront.
Do it. Let's do it. We'll stream it.
We will.
Yeah, totally. It's Battlefront. Come on. Yeah, yeah, no. It's gonna be a very interesting year. It's gonna be a big year on some fronts. Yeah, I think Star Wars is probably gonna be on the quiet side.
Yeah.
That's a lot of planning and a lot of reshuffling that's being done that we
Hmm.
can't see it, but I know it's happening. So we'll find out more about it next year. Uh, yeah, that's kind of what we got, man. I mean, it's been great. It was a great year, other than me forgetting everything today, forgetting dates, names. Where am I?
What year is it?
What year is it? Man, I'm telling you. And it's like coming in, and it's like cats. It's like I totally had. I think the reason why I got so confused about cats is that I had erased it from my mind, and you just talked about musicals. It's like, wait, was that last year? Because it feels like it was recent. It's like, no, man. It's like
Man.
the world was still normal back then. I guess when
Oh
to
my
some
gosh.
extent.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
true.
yeah. But yeah, man. Again, to you guys that are either watching or listening, thank you. Like, I'm really, really thankful for you guys. I really appreciate your support. Keep us growing. You know, let people know about us. We're still small, but growing and growing steadily and um, growing organically without having to put ourselves out there without clickbaiting. We're just having fun and talking about things we love. So thank you guys
Yeah.
again for joining us this year. We hope to see you guys again next year. Joel, where can they find us?
We will be back. Make sure you stay tuned, stay subscribed, because even while we're out, like I said, I'm gonna be dropping videos, I'm gonna be dropping content. So make sure you subscribe to the No Load Time YouTube channel where you can watch all the videos, the live streams, amazing content all around. Additionally, we want you to stay subscribed to the No Load Time audio version on podcast platforms of your choice, like Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple. You find us, follow us, subscribe to us. We greatly appreciate it. Additionally, you can follow us on social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all those platforms. You can also see, if you're watching the video version, those handles down below. Additionally, you could follow us on Twitch, No Load Time. That's No Load Time all together on Twitch. We have there. So maybe when Battlefront 3 comes out, we'll
Yeah.
stream on
All
there.
right.
You'll have to see. And then also, we'd love to hear from you. Send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. There is so much amazing stuff that I feel so strongly about. It's coming for us for 2024. So really, really glad to have you guys with us for this journey. We're humbly excited about it and looking for all the great stuff to come.
Yep. Thank you guys. Guys, have a great holiday. Have a happy new year. We will see you again next time.